Okay, so we need to talk about no money witchcraft and being realistic and being real about it. So let's have the real discussion. So I get this question in multiple different ways. Oh, this is calling for this kind of specific candle and I don't have it and I don't have the money to get it. What do I need to do? Or, I can't set up an altar because I don't have this statue, or I need a statue, or whatever. Okay, do realize, and I realize that some of you are young, so you've always grown up in this atmosphere and you don't remember. But back in the day, we didn't have a bunch of witchy shops. You may have had one small little witchy shop somewhere in some big city that you could go to and stuff, and some little side ones that sold a variety of different things and called them other stuff, so they could sell them. Anyway, we did not have all this access to all these different tools and all these different items and things and statues and all that. It wasn't a thing. Go back a little bit further, even before my time, and you have nothing. There are no books, not really, unless you're talking about archaic kind of long history books and things within mythology, stuff like that. But no real, how-to guides or any of this stuff. Our ancestors didn't work that way. They figured it out. They worked with what they had. They created the tools that they needed for the time that they needed them. They repurposed a lot of stuff. So you need an athame. Go to your kitchen and get a butter knife. Bless that on down and consecrate it, cleanse it, whatever you want to do to it, imbue your little magic into it, and there you go. So you need herbs and stuff. Start with what's in your kitchen, because what you're consuming and already taking into yourself, you already have some type of connection there, and they're common herbs for you, and you know how they make you feel already. You know what they do to your taste buds and what they do to your foods. Start in your kitchen. Use regular kitchen herbs. You don't need to be going out and buying all this specialty stuff. When you're confronted with a spell, it is somebody's framework and then all their specific associations to the parts of that framework for the spell. You need your own representations for those parts of energy within the spell. What you need to try and understand in their spell work is what is the framework they're working with. Why this energy and why in this placement? Why are they, doing this, this, and this in this order? That's going to tell you the framework of the spell. And then you just plug in what you have on hand, or what you can get, or what you can craft, or, whatever, and go with it. All these specialty candles, it's a label slapped on a candle. I'm talking about the ones that you buy in bulk and in big stores and stuff. I'm not talking about handcrafted magic candles. That's a different thing. But you can do the same thing. You can get a Dollar Tree, $1.50 candle and slap that label on there. And consecrate it and, do whatever you need to do to set that candle for that. And you've got a specialty candle too. And I am going to be the super frugal witch. I'm going to be telling you the super frugal ways and all that, because that's how our ancestors practiced. And it worked great. So we can do it too. And it'll work just great. Your magic isn't dependent on you buying a bunch of stuff. Now, if you like to buy stuff and you want to support certain creators that you like, by all means, go do that. But we're in hard economic times. And, to spend $5 in order to do a spell for money, that seems counterintuitive a little bit. Especially, I know how sometimes that last $5 is all you got, and you need it for every little, last meal or whatever. So, don't be thinking in what do I need to buy. Be thinking in what do I need to craft. What do I have on hand? what do I already have, or what do I have pieces of that I can put together? You know, how can I build my craft around what I can find around me, what I can forge? You know, even big cities have tiny little park places, little park settings. You can go and find all kinds of little things on the ground. So, you know, we need to stop with this capitalist mindset when it comes to witchcraft. Witchcraft is a practice of the people. It was for justice purposes. It was for, you know, equalizing stuff and protecting themselves and, you know, good harvests and all that. They didn't have accessibility to all this stuff. They worked with what they had. Please, please work with what you have. All right, I'll get off my soapbox. Have a good day.